Boom. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see. Okay, here we go. You good to go?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Championship Ringside is back again. We live. Blizzy Blaze here. Shout out to all y'all listening. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to everybody supporting. Go introduce yourself, young man.
Shit, you know who it is. It's the
I
bully.
don't think so, man. You need to reincarnate yourself every time you introduce yourself, bro.
It's the bully. You dig? That's it. The bully coming over here bullying.
Who you bullying?
You. Hey, you running from these debates, talking sideways in text messages.
I mean, look, we ain't got to go back and forth like that. We can go straight to the action. NBA playoffs going on. Had a big night last night. Think we came to some conclusions last night. So we talked backstage. You personally feel like the Philly-Miami series, no, not Philly. The Miami and Atlanta series over, and the Philly and Toronto series, yeah, I agree with you. That one looked over. But I do think Atlanta gonna steal one at home. So
It's supposed to get one at home. So
I mean, so go ahead. You want to go ahead and talk about the next matchup? You saying let's bypass this, right?
yeah, we could bypass this. I'll let you know. I'm taking Miami. I'm taking Miami in this series. And the reason why I'm taking Miami, one, I've been saying this, and it's gonna come up a couple more times. It's gonna be defense. That's just something that I'm gonna continue to harp on. But also the X factor is gonna be James Harden handling those Miami Knights. You gotta go. You got a Miami, the home team. You got James in Miami.
Very true. Very true. Very true.
My dude gonna be out there and live, and KOD ain't gonna be able to help himself. So I don't know. I can't see James Harden contributing much to the series now. I hope he proved me wrong. I hope he's able to conduct himself properly, but I don't know. James Harden on South Beach.
All right. All jokes aside, I look at it like this. I think the playoff prediction episode came out today. Shout out to the podcast. Go check that on wherever y'all check y'all podcasts out at. I picked Miami to win the series also. And honestly, it's because of James Harden. It's the history of James Harden make you just nervous about, is he going to sell you out? Now, the good part about it is when I'm looking at Joel Embiid, I'm like, all right, this dude balling out. And he probably a little more hungry this shit. Got the scoring title. He might lose the MVP. I don't know. Everybody go back and forth about the MVP. But top 3 in MVP, probably number 2 in MVP, I would think that's a big thing for him, and he trying to show that, okay, you need to solidify me with the greats, if not the greats of all time, but at least the Philadelphia greats, Allen Iverson, Moses Malone, Will Chamberlain, Dr. J. I would think he want to, solidify himself with those greats. So I want to say he want to do that, but he needs somebody else to help him, and that's what James Harden come in at. Jimmy Butler, big-time playoff player. Eric Spoelstra, big-time playoff coach. I know Doc Rivers another playoff coach, but Eric Spoelstra, you got to give credit where credit due. You also have I mean, they don't have the best defense in me, but they got a versatile defense, and you never know what you're gonna get from Tyler Hero. So that being said, just on the strength that I can't trust James Harden, I have to go Miami.
Yeah, I think that's an easy pick just because I feel like now I guess my
I
thing
wouldn't
is,
say easy though. That's the
I ain't
thing.
gonna say
You don't you think when you say easy, you kind of like underrating
so.
Joel
No,
Embiid?
I'm not just. I'm saying that it's an easy pick when you just look at it. When you just look at it on paper, I feel like it's an easy pick. And the only reason why I feel like it's an easy pick is because they match up well. You feel me? So I'm saying like when it comes down to it, you have Bam, who is possibly a defensive player of the year candidate. I don't know how high he was, but he
He
was
won top 3.
he wasn't top 3.
Oh,
But I think he was one of those candidates. He might finish top 5 or whatever like that. I'm pretty sure he's going to make an all defensive team. And you have, as far as their defense altogether, I'm not sure what they ranked as far as their defense, but I'm pretty sure their defense is on par. But they match Philly when it comes down to role players who contribute as well. So as far as from the 3-point line, I think they can match up. They have Tyler Hero that comes off the bench, and Tyler was averaging what 20 this year. So you have a lot of different pieces. So when we talk about they them being able to have being as deep as they are versus um Philly, who lost some of their depth when they in the James Harden trade, that might be an issue for them. Now my question is, and I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but my question is, like, if Philly loses, then is it a disappointment? Because
okay. Now we get into the good stuff.
yeah, because they traded for James Harden.
Uh-huh.
You feel me? So, and James Harden, I don't think he re-signed yet. I think he's like on a 1-year deal.
I think he still say he want to test the market, which makes sense.
Yeah. So if they lose in the second round, you feel me? Like, is that a failure of their season?
No, hell no. I never seen somebody judge off a mid-season trade. When have you ever judged anybody off a mid-season trade? That's always the excuse if they disappoint, and you can't all of a sudden change it now. Um, I can't even think of too many mid-season trades that all of a sudden turn to a championship contender. But
Paul
if
Gasol.
they,
Paul Gasol.
that was a mid-season.
Yeah.
It was okay. I that was so long ago. I don't remember that.
What?
Um,
What? You don't remember that? You?
Dude, I remember the Stephen A. promo more than whenever that trade happened. I just remember
Bruh.
Stephen A. just going crazy about that shit. But as far as yeah, James Harden and Joel Embiid, I wouldn't call it a disappointment. I actually think that you can call it a success, even if they make it out, even if they lose at the second round, because you made it to the playoffs. You showed. I mean, it depends on how they exit. Of course, if they exit in a bad manner, then yeah, that's probably a bad look. But let's hypothetically say they just get beat out by a great defender in Miami and a high scoring Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero. So if they lose to that, then it's like okay. And then I think next year will be the true test. I'm not sure if this year is James Harden last year or next year will be his last year in his contract. I think it's this year. But if it is, if it's not, then I mean, even if it is, if you think about it, if he's a free agent, where else he's going to go? It makes the most sense for him to stay with Joel Embiid. That's a dominant combo in the East. That's actually a dominant combo in the entire NBA, especially if we get on point. I'm not sure if James Harden is actually slower because of his hamstring injury, because that's what I'm hearing in the news all the time. But he showed that he can be a well-equipped point guard. Tyrese Maxey is showing he can be a decent scorer. So you keep the band. I would say you keep the band together. This wouldn't be a true. I wouldn't say this is a disappointment they lose in second round because they just get it together and they find new roles. I mean, if you think about it, James Harden. I mean, if we don't look at him like James Harden, like Houston James Harden, he pretty much probably one of the best point guards in the league. I mean, would you take him or CP3? I take James Harden.
All right, so I do think that it would be a disappointment. And the reason being, I think Philly could have been in this position where they lost to where they beat the Raptors in the first round and they lost to the Heat in the second round. I don't think anything changes. Like I don't think if they lose, I don't think James Harden trade at that point moved the needle. And the only thing about it is the thing that it seems like a disappointment to me is because he could essentially leave for nothing. Like he could essentially leave for no, and you get nothing out of the deal.
Where
Now,
you see him possibly going?
let me finish. So I can see him, and I'm not saying that he will leave. I'm saying that he can leave for nothing. I'm saying if you don't trade for him and he wanted to go there, then next year he still wants to go there. And because he still wants to go there, now at that point, it's like it's almost a shoo-in that he's coming. The fact that he went there, he came, he saw, and now he may not want to be here anymore because he feels like, well, this is not as good as what I had back there. That could have been different because we've seen James change his mind before. We've seen James play with Russ like he wanted Russ to come there. He changed his mind. When Chris Paul came there, he wanted Chris Paul to come there. He changed his mind. Like then, far as we knew, he was good with the Kyrie and KD situation, and then he changed his mind. Now we can mess around and we can go to the Philadelphia situation, and we don't know how good James Harden is going to perform next round, and what that's going to do when if he doesn't perform well next round, and the Philly fans get a hold of him, he may not want to be part of that. And I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen because I do think James Harden is going to re-sign with Philly. I'm just saying what could happen. What's the possibility of what can happen that they basically gave away Ben Simmons, Seth Curry. We're not gonna throw Andre Drummond in there. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry for nothing. For a second round exit, which you was gonna get with them anyway. So that's all I'm saying. It's a possibility because
it's not 100 that they get the second round with that crew. My bad. It's not 100 they're gonna get out in the second round with that crew. As far as you simplifying the trade as they traded for a second round exit, I think you kind of over exaggerating that. I think they traded for one of the top point guards in the league, and yeah, I think it takes time to make that mesh.
possibly.
Yeah. But you're definitely going with the worst case scenario.
Right.
Because one, you got to realize, even if James Harden, which I do want, one day we're going to talk about who had a bigger decline this year, James Harden or Russ, because I feel like people overlooking that part. But James Harden had a decline this year, and I don't think too many teams going to look for him. I know he's going to have a market look for him, but a contending team, I don't think too many people going to look for him and give him the money he's looking for. Philly could offer him the most money, and he has one of the top 5 players right now.
But does Philly want to offer him that money? Because James Harden is a year. Him and Russ the same age, right?
Daryl Morey.
I'm cool. James Harden is the same age as Russ, right?
Yeah.
All right. So they make 34 next year. James Harden is gonna want a 4 or 5 year deal for like I don't know what it is. What's the max now? It's something ridiculous money.
You think James Harden gonna sit there and really agree to afford like a $40-something million deal?
No, I think he wants something like a $40-something million deal. Or for what is gonna be 40-50 million or something.
I'm not 100. I'm not 100.
Yeah. So that was one of the contentions was the fact that James Harden is gonna want the max. He's gonna want every piece of money that he's gonna get, because at the end of the day, this is gonna probably be his last contract. Like
I think that's an old school mentality when it comes to contracts. You gotta realize these dudes getting paid. James Harden a lifer with Adidas, so I don't think money's the big deal. I think he wants a big contract, but you gotta realize he probably want a long-term deal just to solidify because of his injury history, and he probably wanted a chance to win a championship. That's only with Philly.
I think James Harden wants his money.
All right, give me an example. Give me an example where he gets his money and he's still contending for a title.
I don't know if contending for a title is going to be like the make or break part for James Harden. I think
if Philly offer the most money.
So how much money do you think that James Harden would sacrifice for a title?
I think they'll trade Tobias Harris to free up money for James Harden.
But I'm asking, so we still saying that James Harden's gonna get the max.
I see. The thing is, I'll be 100 with you. I don't know how NBA money works. I'm not sure. Because I know they got to pay a luxury tax, and I mean, you never know who's willing to pay the luxury tax. So
but I'm saying so NBA money is guaranteed contract. So whatever.
I get that. I'm saying my bad, but I'm trying to say what I don't understand is 40 million like a super max contract? Is that the highest thing, or is it 50 million now? Because I know Westbrook getting paid 47 million next year.
Yeah,
that was off an old contract that happened 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm not sure if you offer James Harden 40 million, that's a wild contract, or that's a contract that actually works. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I don't understand.
And listen, it might be 50 million now, or what he could be reeing up for. He could be reeing up for like 5 years at 250. I'm not sure. I don't know what the logistics of it are. But if he is reeing up at 5 years 250, or if he's reeing up at 5 years 300, whatever the hell it is, it's gonna be something ridiculous. The thing is, the money usually progressively gets higher. And with the money being progressively higher, what's going to happen is toward the end of the contract, you are betting. We talking about James Harden's decline, and we talking about, because James Harden is declining, like how you want to pay this dude over $50 million 2 or 3 years from now, because then you wind up putting yourself in a position where his contract is worse than Westbrook's or John Wall's, because of, like, we seeing the decline that he's going now. Like, so at, I don't know, 33 years old, how's James Harden gonna look at 35? How you gonna look at 37 or 38? So
don't make me say it.
And then you wind up being in a situation where you paying him this amount of money to give you what?
I think a bad James Harden give you at worst 16 and 8.
Okay.
At worst, and I'm talking about worse.
Cool. If 16 and 8, and how many turnovers you getting with that? Because
why would you assume turnovers if we talk? Because I would assume we moving him to point guard permanently. We not depending on you to take these step backs no more.
What? the turnovers are going to be more cause of the passes. Like that's usually what it's going to be. It's going to
No, his turnovers actually went down as he became a point guard for Durant and
It,
Kyrie.
it didn't. He was probably second in the league in turnovers behind Russ.
Oh, you talking about ranking? I'm talking about just number.
No, number of turnovers. He was second in the league behind Russ. If we looking at the like his usage rate went down because he has two other people on the court with him who demand the ball. But if we talking about like the amount of turnovers, as far as the possessions that he has, like they've been around the same. Like he's doing. This is the same thing that we talk about with Russ. Like Russ is shot 45%. He's been bad from three. He's turned over the ball a lot. Like we know this about Russ, but when he goes to the Lakers, all of a sudden it's the worst thing in the world. We know these things. Like these things have been the same. So I'm just saying, like, if you saying like taking the ball out of his hand more, then he gonna have less turnovers. It's kind of a given. It works like that. Like,
I would think that's what they'll do, but we can move forward from that. We already agreed that Miami gonna be the team, and you actually side with me. You think he gonna stay in Philly, so no need to keep going about it. All right, we can move to our next topic, but before that, of course, y'all gotta know to hit us up, man. Facebook Championship Ringside, Instagram Championship_Ringside, Twitter @Champ Ringside, email championshipringside@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe on that YouTube channel. Y'all make sure y'all holler at G on IG. Let's move to that next topic, man. All right. Speaking of James Harden, his former team, the Nets, they trouble maybe trouble. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. So they down 2-0 against the Celtics, and we're trying to find out what the hell is going on. So, of course, it's they down 2-0, but that's that's a given. They're the 7th seed, so they lost 2 games in Boston. But you want to give your first reaction to that?
yeah. So it's not much to be. I won't say it's much to be said about it because yeah, when it comes down to it, the way that the series are set up is set up for the home team to win their games, their away team to win their games, and it goes to a game 7, which the home team eventually prevails if none of the games are stolen. So I think somebody said that a series doesn't start until a home team loses. So series hasn't started just yet. Now, with that said, I think the next game is a must win because you can't go down 3-0. That's one thing that I will say. But I had Boston beating them all along. I think I have in my bracket. I had Boston in 6 because I think they are going to be able to get 2 games. But what I did want to speak about was like the last episode that we talked about. We talked about efficiency. That was one of the things that we brought up. And you got kind of hot when I brought up efficiency. Like when I said that the defense is meant to bring that efficiency down. And we don't even have to look at the numbers that KD is putting up right now. But we see how Boston is getting in him. No homo to KD, my bad. I don't want to try to fuck over you. But we seeing how Boston is getting all in his airspace, how Boston is making all the shots tough for him, and how KD has traditionally struggled with physicality. So, 2 things that I got from that is when, from a historical context, when I talk to y'all and say, like, the way that the game is played now, the game is played for perimeter players to excel when it comes down to limiting defense and allowing players to get off. So perimeter players look better now than they would look back in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s. Like, players look better now. So that's one of the things that you see in this series. Two,
It's not because of rule changes, though.
two,
It's
two,
not because of. That's not because of rule changes.
two,
It's not because of rule changes.
two.
That's not because of rule changes.
Okay.
They just better.
Okay. Two. We talking about how see, you made me lose my train of thought. I'm trying to go with my take. So
I'm putting you on the right path. That's why. You know?
All right. So I guess the other thing was talking about efficiency and how KD has looked bad these last couple games, and you didn't have to look at the numbers to see that he looked bad.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at the numbers after the fact and say, dang, it took him 23 shots to get 23 points. Like, you can look at that afterwards and was just saying, like, this is not the normal KD, because KD on 15 shots will give you 40 points. You feel me? Like, that's one of the things that KD is known for: a low volume of shots, high output. Now the output is high, or that volume is high, and that output is low. So that's all I'm saying from a historical standpoint. Like, some of the things that I've been talking about, being a little smug. I need like,
Finish.
Being a little smug with this one. Some of the things that I've been talking about is like just coming to fruition, like right in front of your face. You dig? Go ahead, handle your business.
So that's all cute and everything, but again, how much they lost by the game one? 1 point. Okay. Game two is bad. Game two is really bad. I'll give you that. So I'm not gonna act like there's not a thing of bad efficiency, but still good results. Like, if somebody actually, like I said, since you want to bring it back to the original, the first topic was, hypothetically speaking, if Paul George shoot 20% and make 35 points. If the team won, then it was a successful night. That's because that 35 points was something that resonated to the team winning. If Boston, if Nets would have won that first game, I'm almost sure that not too many people be talking about KD's bad night. They'll probably brush past it. Excuse me. Game two was where it really picked up about his efficiency. But that's your take. I want to talk about the series itself. Game one, yeah, you can blame a lot on KD having a bad night, but at some point we gotta look at Boston and say that Tatum is becoming not a superstar, but he's definitely in that star role. He's actually owning it, and Jaylen Brown is actually backing him up. That team is actually well built if you look at it, with Derek White and Marcus Smart being defensive players on that squad. I mean, Robert Williams not back yet, but yeah, that actually makes a complete squad. Jason Tatum hitting big shots. I'm not sure who can actually stop him. He's actually one of the best, like, tough shot makers in the league. So yeah, I will buy into Boston winning in Boston. As far as when we go back to Brooklyn, that's when I actually start investing on what I want to, believe in, because I did pick the Nets to win this series. I think. Yeah, I picked the Nets to win this series. I want to say once KD and Kyrie get their groove back, once I think in Brooklyn you're gonna get a different tone, and I think once it goes back to Boston, that's where we're gonna really see who's made out of what. I'm not sure if Kyrie was really focused on the game at some point, because I don't know. And as far as KD, yeah, props to Boston for playing good defense, but I mean, would you hang your hat on a sweep? Would you? No. Why? Because it's KD. Exactly. Like we know, nobody says KD is good for shooting 40%. They say KD is good for an easy 30. Since you want to bring up efficiency, so yeah, that's my take on that.
So
I
look,
think the way this series looking is if Brooklyn don't get it to 7, then Celtics gonna end up in 6. But it's all gonna depend on Game 5 to me.
so look, I guess this my thing. Game 1, then Boston beat them by 1 point, right on the last second Jason Tatum shot.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't, if Nets would have won that game, then it wouldn't have been because of KD. It would have been.
It wouldn't have.
It would have been because of Kyrie.
True,
You
I
know?
give you that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes down to, and just going by efficiency, right? If one team is going to be more efficient than the other, then usually that team is going to win. Now, the other things that play into that is you have offensive rebounds, you have assists, you have turnovers, you have the other things in the game that's going to play into that efficiency part. But for the most part, both teams get around the same shots. They get around the same amount of shots. So if in a game you have one team shooting 90 shots and another team shooting 90 shots, the team that shoots that 90 shots at a better clip is going to win. Now, the caveats that you have in there is going to probably be free throws, 3-pointers made, things like that. Like certain things are going to be a caveat for that. But that's all I'm saying when it comes down to that portion. My thing is, I don't. KD is good for a game. Yeah, KD is good to get you a game. And that's what your superstars. Yeah, that's what your superstars do. Your superstars get you a game. Your superstars. Yeah, I think KD is good enough to get you a game. At least a game. Yeah, at least a game.
When you start saying that about superstars, or you just saying about KD?
No, I'm saying that in general. Your superstars are good enough to take you to a game. I'm not saying that all he gonna get him is one game, but I'm saying superstars are usually good enough to get you a game. That's usually what they do. They get you a game.
I say, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy.
My thing is, I think Kyrie's game was wasted because Kyrie had him with that game on.
That's his fuck up though.
Huh?
He gave it to KD at the end of the game. That was his fuck up.
No, I'm talking. You say he gave it to KD at the end of the game?
You talking about game 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucked that up. He gave it to KD for what? You the one hot. Like Marcus Smart, defensive player of the year in front of your face. You drain a 3-pointer. Give him back the ball. KD was in awe of Kyrie all of game 1. Like, oh, look how good this guy is. So yeah, don't try to take the last shot now.
Well, no, I think
Kyrie fuck up.
No, I think when it came down to it, they had a specific plan for KD. Like the way that there was in KD shit, like they had a specific plan for him. And I think that same plan didn't guard KD. They didn't guard Kyrie how they guarded KD. And when KD did make a couple shots, it was like he was making open baskets. Like his shots was open. Like this dude was like, they was so pressed up on him to where he couldn't really like have any sort of S space to jump. Like he gonna hit somebody if he jump. But I don't want to stay on them. I don't want to stay on them way too long. I think
you got the Celtics in what?
I think 6. I have it on my bracket in 6. So
yeah, I have Brooklyn. I think I have Brooklyn in 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I think game 5 will be the most pivotal game of this series, though. I think Kevin Durant gonna come out like a madman just because people talking shit about him. So
yeah, they get hot.
All right, we can move on from that. We'll revisit that. I mean, if I like one of the teams, I probably put a wager on it since we diff on it. But I don't really care for either team. I like Jason Tatum, but I also like Kyrie and KD. So, all right, let's get off that. Let's get to the main topic, I guess. Yeah, let's get to the main topic. That's what people clicked on the channel for. When they get into the good stuff. You want to introduce it, or you want me to introduce? I could introduce it for you if you want.
Handle your business. Handle your business.
All right. So we got the Phoenix Suns. It's clear versus the Pelicans, baby. Pelicans made the playoffs, and Chris Paul went ham the first game. Game 1, woo! CP3 dropped 30.
30, yeah.
30. Woo! Now, to give people a backstory, I don't jump on my Instagram too much, but one day I went on my Instagram, I see somebody posted a clip of me, going at CP. Like, oh. I'm assuming that you post that clip right after game 1.
Oh, right after game 1.
Right after game 1.
Right after game.
Yeah. I like it. So
I clipped that bit like 5 minutes.
What I say. So game 2, Devin Booker come out wet. 31 in the first half. He trying to get that Jordan record, huh? Then I don't know. That CP3 effect hit him again. Bam. How CP3 do it. If it ain't me, it's gonna be my teammate.
Bruh.
So yeah. I personally do hate that too. Like I feel like that is unfair to his career. That's stopping him from being like a top point guard all time to me. But we'll get to that another time. Or later. But anyway, Brandon Ingram went ham. Brandon Ingram dropped 37 on them boys, and we got the series tied 2-2. 1-1.
Yeah.
That I'm talking about. 1-1. The real question now is, by the way, Devin Booker's out for game 3 and 4 in New Orleans. He ain't gonna be down here, he ain't gonna be chopping up in night ball, nothing like that. He gonna be back in Phoenix, whatever. So, or he probably on the bench, I don't know. But he not playing game 3 and 4. Brandon Ingram balling. People talking about he the best player in the series now. They talking about CJ the second best, possibly. Herb Jones might be the best defensive player in the series. I think he is. Shout out to my dog Herb. And is Phoenix in trouble, bro?
Oh, so you're asking me? No.
That's the question. That's the question of the topic.
So is Phoenix in trouble? Not for this series. I don't think they're in trouble for this series. I think the series is gonna be longer than expected. I expect Phoenix to get it done in 6 games. But I was thinking that it was going to be that the series was going to be easier with Devin Booker. Without Devin Booker, it's going to be much harder. One thing that I will say about the Pelicans is, like, with this squad that they got, this dude Zion would be stupid to try to go somewhere else. Like, these dudes, like, it's so many rookies on this squad that's just like, that's balling.
It's just 2. Oh, Alvarez.
Yeah.
Wait, is it Alvarez?
Every time I hear something, it's like another rookie. I was like, damn, yeah. How many? I got
Herb
like 4.
Jones. It's crazy because Herb Jones, he was like the 2nd round pick, and he wound up being better than Trey Murphy, who was our 1st round pick. Is Alvarez or Alvarado? Grand Theft Alvarado. It's one of those 2. I forgot his name. My bad. Shout out to him. But yeah, those are 3 rookies. But yeah,
I felt like it was. It could have been 3 or 4 rookies in their rotation. But with that said,
sure. Oh, that dude Marshall probably a rookie too.
Yeah, Marshall. I think.
Go ahead. Finish your take.
But anyway, yeah. So I think that's like, yeah, for him, he should want to play with this squad because they have a lot of growth that they can do together. So he should definitely want to play with this squad. As far as Phoenix is concerned, I think Phoenix could get over this. I think they could get past this round, and they can get past uh the next round, or into the next round without a fully healthy Devin Booker. I think they need a fully healthy Devin Booker and a lot of other things to get to the finals. But are they in trouble? A little bit, but not this round.
So how far when you see Devin Booker coming back, as far as your take?
I don't see Devin Booker coming back till probably like maybe game 3 in the second round. So,
well, if that's
so,
how you was controlling that,
so look,
then you're
so,
absolutely right. If
so
you
look,
make this a
so look,
what's that?
so peep game, and I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how this hamstring injury is,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to say he missed. Was it like 3 weeks? He missed 7 games last go round with
Mm-hmm.
the hamstring injury. So I don't. So yeah, I think he missed like 3 weeks with the hamstring injury last time. So I don't know if this is the same thing. This is close or whatever like that. But I'm going based off of that timeline. I'm saying like
All right.
game in next
I
series.
I don't know the extent of his injury, so I'm gonna just use your basis off his injury, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make that clear for everybody listening and for you yourself, so you understand where I'm at with it. Because I'm assuming when somebody say game 3 and 4, by game 5 he should be suited up. If you think he's done for this series, then you're absolutely right. If you say are the Suns in trouble, yes or no, a little bit means yes. So yes, they're in trouble. Trouble. You want to post that clip again? You want to post that clip again when they lose this series? Now, to be fair, I originally picked Phoenix to win this series. I think I said maybe 6. Or I probably just picked them because I wasn't sure. But if Brandon Ingram playing like this, and then if you look over his shoulder, CJ McCollum can give you a game that's similar, maybe not to the extent of 37 points, but a 30-point game, and Phoenix cannot find a way to stop neither one of those guys, this series is done. It's probably done in 6.
Well, yeah. Go
Also,
ahead.
you got to realize if I'm not sure with the reports, rumors out there. Of course, once New Orleans won a game and Devin Booker went out, you start hearing these rumors. But if Zion is actually sitting like strapped, suited up, and sitting on the bench, then I see no reason to pick Phoenix in the series anymore. Again, if you're gonna tell me that Chris Paul is gonna be the one who's gonna will this team through, okay, in what fashion? When we know for a fact that's where most of their playmaking gonna come from. You can actually put Brandon Ingram on CP3, and guess what? I'm not sure how productive that Phoenix offense is gonna be after that. Mikal Bridges not gonna give you no 30-point game. Maybe Cam Johnson might explode and give you a big game, but you can't depend on him the whole time. DeAndre Ayton needs CP3, and I'm not even sure who's gonna replace Devin Booker during that time span. I will actually move my pick to Pelicans in 7 if Booker not returning. I'll actually do that. The Phoenix Suns are in trouble because again, that's the only way it's gonna work. And if let's just hypothetically move to your take and say, okay, to get out that first round. Well, actually, I think the second round is actually weak. I'm not sure. That all depends on Luka's injury, but yeah, Phoenix in trouble.
So look, this if we go on by last game, last game the Pelicans played damn near a flawless game.
I
Like
get that. 57% from 3-point.
yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
I
what
get that.
you expect that.
No,
Like
no.
so
But
I'm just saying like when we talk about that where you have
I
several
never said
people
that.
that are shooting over like over 50% from three. The worst dude from three. The worst thing that they got from three were their centers, where you have three centers, including Nance Jr. So you have Nance Jr., Valanciunas, and Jackson Hayes. Together they went 1 for 6. That's the people who had the worst percentages from three. Every
Valanciunas will shoot better from 3.
huh?
Valanciunas usually shoots better from 3.
But I'm saying I think you're saying that because of his name. But he's not really a 3-point shooter. Valanciunas, I, yeah, he's not really that dude. But
Okay.
everybody else shot over. I'm sorry, besides Devontae Graham who played 7 minutes. Everybody else shot over 60% from three. Everybody else. So like
36% from 3.
Valanciunas, how many he shoots a game? Two?
2.
Two.
So, man,
Yeah,
I think he's good. He's good for at least 1.
he's good for at least one. He shot two. He missed both of them. It wasn't. I'm saying them together. So it was like Jackson Hayes, Larry Nance, and Valanciunas combined to be 1 for 6. But
Well,
everybody.
I never mentioned the 3. I never mentioned based off of last game. I'm just
No,
saying if
but what I'm saying, what you just not said, you was like Brandon Ingram gave him 37, CJ McCollum, like you was mentioning what they did last game, and you saying if they can duplicate that, then
I
Phoenix
didn't say
is in
that.
trouble. Yes, if they can duplicate that, the league is in trouble. Absolutely, the league is in trouble if they can shoot 57% from three every night. Absolutely, yeah, the league is in trouble. But that's not going to happen. It's really rare that happens on the road, which that's a huge shout out to them that happened on the road because that's a home game type thing where role players get hot from the three at home. So, but I don't see that happening. Um, I think they gonna come back to real life. And yeah, I think the Suns gonna take this in 6. I give them another game. I think they're gonna split these two, and Suns gonna close them out.
When you say real life, that's what I was talking about. I don't expect Brandon Ingram to get 37. I expect Brandon Ingram to get 28 to 30. I expect CJ to get 25 to 28. And if that's what happens, yes, Phoenix in trouble.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
that. That's what you say. I don't see it. I don't see. Yeah,
that's not realistic.
no, that's realistic, but like you still have to see Phoenix on the other side. So it's just
As
I don't.
far as what
So look,
they have nothing. They all they have is CP3.
yeah,
That's not enough.
that's enough.
You this is a perfect transition. That's a perfect transition. That's not enough.
That's enough.
CP3. Shout out to the point guard. That's your nickname. I don't like to call you that, all that. But shout out to CP3, my third favorite point guard of all time. But bruh, he is not enough. If you put Brandon Ingram on CP3, a CP3 that's older and slower, this series over and done.
Okay, cool.
Like what you? Why does CP3 get these magical powers all of a sudden?
I don't say he gets the magic powers. I'm watching the game. I see what he does. He had Herb Jones on him for damn the entire last game or entire
I
uh
forgot about Herb Jones. Come on, man, look at that.
entirety of game one, and he dropped 30 and 10.
He did. He did.
Okay.
You think he could? And let me ask you this: what's more likely? Brandon Ingram dropping 37 or Chris Paul dropping 30?
Brandon Ingram dropping 37. But that's not how Chris Paul wins. How Chris Paul
He needs a
wins.
star. He
How
needs a
Chris
star.
Paul wins is he gets everybody else involved. So what's going to happen is Cam Johnson going to give you more. DeAndre Ayton going to give you more. Like, you're going to see these players going to give you more. Jay Crowder is not going to be over 5 from the 3-point line. Like, that's not going to happen. So you're going to get more from your other players, and CP3 is going to direct the show. That's what's going to happen.
I think when CP3 the full focal point, I think you got OKC CP3, a first round exit. Shout out to the point guard though, man. But we look, just throwing it out there. Shout out to the squad. But we're not done yet. We gotta continue talking about CP3. I'm actually gonna wait for you on this one.
I'm here.
All right. This the one I want. So you got a lot of faith in CP3, and you got CP3 as a top 5 point guard of all time. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So let's introduce how we got to this topic. Watch your first take like every other sports fan in the world, and what it is, Mad Dog Russo?
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog. He crazy, but this one I don't got too much jump back on him. But he really didn't say much, but it turned into a tie between me and you. So he pretty much claimed that CP3 is no Bob Cousy. And JJ Redick just, I guess went ham. And that became a topic. I even seen it being a topic on TV today about CP3 versus Bob Cousy. So, of course, this championship ringside. G texts me, I text him. I say, you know what? He got a point. Bob Cousy can't be ranked above CP3. And that's crazy how much he gets slept on. But yeah, if you go by resume and dominance, like I always do, like how I rank my players, yeah, Bob Cousy definitely could be above CP3, hands down. Bob Cousy could be a top 5 point guard, if not 4. So yeah, I think he have a case there. I know for a fact. That's just an introduction because I know you got something to say about it. But I mean, if you want me to go through the accolades, Bob Cousy is a 4-time assist title person. He's a 5-time champion, and he has an MVP. But 12-time All NBA. Just throwing it out there. But
All right, so I got a question for you before I get to my take. I got a question.
Go.
And let me preface this question as I only want your answer. All right, I don't need none of this extra stuff. I only want your answer.
Go.
So, who's the greatest scorer of all time? Close to the camera.
Greatest scorer.
Greatest scorer of all time.
That's such a vague question, though.
No, it's not vague. You can tell me
in what way.
The greatest scorer of all time. We're talking about NBA basketball. That's it. I'm not talking about
okay. I got you. So
NBA basketball.
If you say, all right, I'm gonna give you my answer.
Mm-hmm.
Without watching basketball, Michael Jordan.
Okay. And why?
So, you want no reason now?
Yeah, now why? Why?
All right, so if I give an explanation
wait. Time out. I saw the slick shit that you just did. Rewind it. Because I didn't ask you for no caveats. I want everything. Who's the greatest scorer to ever play in the NBA? I'm not talking about without watching basketball or none of that other bullshit.
I'm trying to be fair.
No, be straight up. Be
I'm
straight
trying
up.
to be fair.
I want a definitive answer. Don't
I'm
give me
trying to
that
be
bullshit
fair.
that you trying to, you know, trying to play me with, like, you know,
I'm trying to be
like
fair.
this whole fake apology. Well, I'm sorry if I did something. Nah, nigga, give me a definitive answer. Who's the greatest scorer in
I'm
NBA?
trying to be fair. So this is
Be
what I'm saying.
fair. Greatest scorer in NBA history.
Look. I
Number
got four.
one.
I got
Number
four
one.
candidates. I got four candidates.
Cool. And give me the number one person. I don't want the other three.
Oh, well, I gotta mention that though. I gotta mention the four.
You can mention the four. I want number one. Tell me who number one is.
All right. So again, to be fair to Kobe, KD, and Michael Jordan, I actually watched those. I actually watched them score. As far as Wilt, I didn't watch him score, but if you look on the numbers, he's pretty good. But there are seasons he took a step back. Kobe, his numbers don't add up, neither does KD. As far as Michael Jordan goes, numbers lean his way as far as being the best scorer. So the 10 scoring titles, I would say he's the best scorer.
So who's the best scorer? I just want to make sure that I get the definitive answer, because it feels like it's not a definitive answer. So just who's the best scorer? You give me the name.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, all right. That's what I'm trying to. And why is Michael Jordan the greatest scorer of all time?
10 scoring titles.
10 scoring titles. Okay. I wanted to make sure I got that, because
you wanted it with no context, so there you go. But
yeah. No, because if we looking at it, like, what if he averaged 20 points per game and he won 10 scoring titles, would you still feel the same way? Like on those scoring?
Yes.
Bullshit. But you
going wait, hold on. No, that's the problem. That's the problem.
No, cool. Listen, cool. I give you that. So that's
the problem. That's the problem right there. Because what we do is we try to penalize the era you played in. For some reason, Stockton is not known as the greatest passer of all time. Why the fuck not? Some of the best pass seasons of all time is under John Stockton, but we make up some reason of why Magic is a better passer. Like, why? The numbers right there, the assist titles right there in front of your face. So that's crazy to sit there and say, oh, okay, because he averaged, like, he did what he had to do. Like I don't know if I said this in previous episodes. If I'm trying to think how I put it. Like matter of fact, you sent me a video. If Jordan wanted to score a certain number, he probably would have, but he just scored more than most people. I don't think his goal was, okay, I'm gonna try to score 32 this year. It was just scoring more than everybody else. And that's what I'm saying. So yeah, if Jordan had 20, if he had 10 scoring titles, scoring 20, that to me that says, okay, he was still scoring more than these other guys. Not that he wasn't a good scorer.
So, and I'm about to get my take and just go about like reference some things that we mentioned last episode. Well, was it last episode? No, I don't think it was the last episode. I think it was the episode.
You couldn't refuse bringing up other references, right?
No, because I want you to be consistent, keep that same energy. So this is what we're talking about. So I want to say not last episode, we was talking about one of the episodes before was talking about LeBron all-time scoring title versus Jordan 10 scoring championships and 10 scoring titles. And one of the things that you mentioned was the scoring titles, or Jordan 10 scoring titles, was indicative of the competition that he went against for those titles versus LeBron's scoring titles being over the course of his career. And you said that when it comes down to, we've had this argument before. If you put Jordan in a different era, then he might not have 10 scoring titles. Like, we've had that conversation before. And My thing is, Bob Cousy, the minute Oscar Robertson walked in the NBA on the NBA floor, Bob Cousy no longer got another assist title. Like, who was second in assists the years that Bob Cousy won the assist titles?
I had to look it up.
Who was the second best? Who was the second best point guard the years that Bob Cousy won those assist titles?
Wait, hold up. All right.
No. Because I'm
about to look it up. I need to check something anyway. Go ahead, continue.
No, because the thing that we do, or the thing that you try to do is, we talk about evolution of the game.
My bad. Booker missing 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, I figured he was about 3 weeks. So because I figured it was about 3 weeks because of the last one was about 3 weeks. But cool. But back on this. So when we look at the assist titles that Chris Paul has gotten, Chris Paul career average is 9.5 assists per game. Bob Cousy, his career high was 9.5 assists per game.
That was the back in his career.
Yeah, but that was his career high.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, Bob Cousy. You're saying Bob Cousy didn't get an assist title when Oscar got into the league, but
he didn't.
Yeah, but he was in the back end of his career.
So how much did Oscar average that year? When the first year Oscar won an assist title, how much did he average?
Let's see. 9.7.
All right. Where's Bob Cousy assist high for his career? It's 9.5. I just said it, but so don't really matter. Oscar could have walked in the day.
I don't get what the reference of you saying.
So look, my thing's simply saying, like, I don't really like certain
like a
people,
better player came in the league.
Yes, a better player came in the league. Certain people we could say
CP3 know about that. Everybody knows about that.
Yeah, but so listen. Let me try to wrap this point.
Go ahead. My bad. You right.
Let me just try to wrap this point up. So, like, when it comes down to measuring players or saying players before the NBA merger and comparing them to players that's all-time greats now, it's not even fair. It's not fair to those players. Like, it's not fair to Bob Cousy, who we have highlights of Bob Cousy, and we have not one highlight of Bob Cousy dribbling with his left hand and comparing him to basketball players today. Go ahead, go look up. I'm giving you some homework. Go look up YouTube. See Bob Cousy dribbling with his left. No, but I'm saying because he couldn't. So I'm just saying, like,
what are we measuring?
So listen, for his era, Bob Cousy was the greatest point guard of all time. But if we talk about basketball as a whole, Bob Cousy, and no disrespect, but Bob Cousy would make an NBA team now, and it's that simple. He wouldn't, and I know people gonna feel like that's disrespectful and all this other stuff, but no, that dude would not make an NBA team right now. I'm sorry, that's period. Go ahead.
So pretty much we saying so do you keep that same energy with everybody?
As far, I don't feel like Bob Cousy is when it comes down to all-time great. No, if we talking about
Moses Malone wouldn't make an all-time team right now either.
Bullshit. Stop it. Stop.
Joel Embiid, Joker. What, you want to go with Cat? I mean, I'm pretty sure Moses Malone fall behind those guys.
He don't, but keep going.
I mean, I'm just saying, like what? How far are you gonna penalize guys because the scale of the point guard changed?
So I'm saying, so wait. So how are you saying that Moses Malone?
You're trying because you're trying. Wait. This you're doing. Wait. Listen. This you're doing. You're taking a 1950s player and using his skill set to put him into the 2010s. But what you're not doing is saying, okay, how about the fact that in the 1950s he was Steph Curry? On the 1950s he was Jason Kidd or Steve Nash in the 2000s. He was John Stockton in the 90s. That's how you're supposed to look at it.
So I'm like, wait. Was he Steph? Hold on, wait. So make sure that we have the right reference. Was he Steph Curry or was he Jason Kidd? Which one? Because those are two different players.
Best point guard. I'm not talking about skill set. Best point guard.
No, because Steph Curry and Jason Kidd, they play two totally different ways.
They was the best point guard. That's all I'm saying.
No, but I'm asking.
I'm not going by play style. You're trying to change.
No, because I'm saying that's what you just made a reference, and you made a reference to play style. So I'm saying,
I didn't. I said I'm talking about. I'm saying, okay, you're taking Bob Cousy's play style and put him in the 2010s. Of course, that would be horrible. Chris Paul is technically not the best point guard in the game if you go by position. The way he plays makes him, quote unquote, the best point guard. And if Bob Cousy played that way, then quote unquote he'll probably be a top 5 point guard. If you're trying to take Steph, Dame, Ja Morant, you're trying to take those out of the equation of a quote unquote point guard, then you have that point. Good. But as far as Bob Cousy in the 50s, he was Steph Curry in the 2010s as far as being the best point guard of his era. 2000s, you're going to go with Steve Nash or Jason Kidd. That was the best point guard of that era. If you want to go to the 90s, John Stockton, he was Magic Johnson or Isaiah Thomas of the 80s. I mean, how far you want me to go back? He was the best point guard of his era. You can't, that again, for some reason, Jordan gets superpowers, but Jordan going against bigger, stronger athletes, we're going to say, oh, he probably can average 40. Like, no, these dudes are bigger and better. That's why I don't try to move Jordan out his era. I rank him because how much he dominated his era. Yeah, LeBron probably would destroy other eras in the 90s. He probably would bulldoze through them. We don't know that part. I'm not going to give him credit for that because I think he would. I'm not going to penalize him if I move him. No, I'm going by what he did in his era. And as far as who dominated era more, then I would say Bob Cousy.
So if we're going to talk about who dominated the era more, like Bob Cousy, like and I can't even say that because Bob Cousy, yes, he was the best point guard in the era that didn't have any point guards. Cool. Like that is so wait, I just
so how you rank them?
I just shut up for your whole take. But I'm saying if you're gonna talk about somebody who dominated the era of point guards when there were no point guards, then absolutely Bob Cousy dominated that era. What I'm saying is who's a better player? And when it comes down to who's a better player, Chris Paul is a better player than Bob Cousy. Period. That's not even an argument. My thing is Bob Cousy, we give Bob Cousy love because we don't want to disrespect our elders. We do not want to disrespect the pioneers of the game. And Bob Cousy was one of the pioneers of the game. I don't know if maybe he was like one of the first people to do a behind the back pass or do no look passes and things like that. And yeah, that's what he did. He was they called him Houdini of the hardwood. And damn, that's a fuck up name. But anyway, they it's wild. But I'm just saying, like
that was before all that Paul stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just saying when it comes down to Bob Cousy in his era, Bob Cousy was a pioneer. We have to give him credit for that. But I'm not going to sit here and say a player in the 50s who's never averaged over 40% shooting, a player in the 50s who's never averaged over double digits as far as assists is concerned, a player in the 50s who has no highlights of him dribbling with his left hand is going to be better than a point guard today. Now, if we're talking about Bob Cousy was born in 1993 and he was able to do the training and with his creativity and be able to be a pioneer of the game today, that's a different conversation. We can have that. We can have a different conversation about it. But what I'm saying is, right now, if we just rank in point guards, what we usually do is we give love to the numbers, because we give love to Wilt for the 50-point season where he averaged 50 and 25. We don't say, oh, but he didn't get an MVP for that season. We don't. That's not what happens. We give love for the numbers. Why we don't treat Bob Cousy the same way when it comes down to those numbers? That's him dribbling. Show me the video. Show me the video.
I don't have video. That's
Show
left
me the
hand though.
video. Show me
That's
the
left hand
video.
though. That's left hand.
Show me the video. Because that's what I said. I didn't say a picture of him having a ball in his left hand. Shit, I could dribble in my left hand if you won't put it on a picture. But if you talk about like taking to the goal, it's over. Turnover. Easy.
All right, so look. Again, switching energy. While we switching energy again, now all of a sudden it's not about, assist titles, all NBAs, MVPs, what he accomplished, the contribution to winning. We going straight up. Oh, better player. Chris Paul versus Bob Cousy. Okay, cool. Bob Cousy wasn't on that, the stuff Chris Paul was on. The game had to evolve, and Chris Paul is a gift of the game evolving, similar to the Kobe Jordan the Big, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's talk about that. So now we're doing one-on-ones? So Chris Paul's still a top 5 point guard if we go one-on-one? Like if we look at Chris Paul versus Magic, what we saying? Magic is clearly a better player. We going with Chris Paul and Steph Curry. Steph Curry clearly a better player. Oscar Robertson, Chris Paul. I don't know. Where we going by prime Chris Paul? So we're going to say Chris Paul better than Oscar? Let's go with prime Russell Westbrook. Chris Paul better than that? Probably not. I mean, if you go by prime, if we not talking about your quote unquote influence to winning, is Chris Paul better than Dame Lillard? You know what I'm saying? Like that you changed the entire criteria to where the whole people had to change their entire list and rankings. That and I know you're not willing to do that, so keep the same energy. Contribution, you do contribution to winning. Cousy beats out Chris Paul in that, and I'll go by resume and dominance. Bob Cousy beats Chris Paul in that. The thing is, you can't he never dribbled with his left hand. Okay, that wasn't the game back then. Jordan didn't shoot threes back then, right? That's usually a lot of people's excuse for Jordan not having been a great 3-point shooter, or it wasn't a focal point back then. They don't try to penalize Jordan for that. I do, but that's me.
Cool, I like that. All right, so when we talk about contribution to winning, how many titles did Wilt Chamberlain? How many titles did Bill Russell win without Bob Cousy?
I don't know what. Bob Cousy got 5. I gotta look that up. Go ahead. I might look it up.
6. You don't have to look it up. It's 6.
He won 6.
He won 6 without Bob Cousy. They won the year. They won the year after Bob Cousy retired. So was that Bob Cousy that was getting them those championships?
No, he wasn't the best player.
But they won 6 more times without it.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. When it came down to
we penalized.
Wait. Let me wait. I
want you to continue.
Why?
I want you to continue.
Let me
I want you to continue. I just want to understand.
Let me give my take because I was hushed when you were talking. So when it comes down to Bill Russell retired, and they won a championship. I want to say after winning 11 championships with Bill Russell, they won 1 championship before they got Larry Bird. So when it comes down to influence on winning, we giving that love to Bob Cousy? Like, nah. Bob Cousy was one of the best point guards in the league, or the best point guard in the league for a while. And Bob Cousy was one of the people that were along for the ride. If we messed around and we talked about somebody, we give Scottie Pippen a lot of love for him getting the Bulls to the second round the year that Michael Jordan retired. But we gonna still give Bob Cousy that love, that because his team literally like with him walking out the door, won 6 more championships. No, we're not doing that. So once we talk about that, influence on winning is out the door. You have no competition for any of the All NBA teams because who are we going to name? We're going to name other Celtics that could have possibly been in the All NBA team. Like who is he going against for these awards as far as being on an All NBA team? When it comes down to Chris Paul, he's going against Steve Nash, Kobe, D Wade, like AI at some point. Like he's going against Steph, Dame, Kyrie. He's going against other players in order to get these All NBA awards and things like that. But we're gonna bypass that and say, oh well, Bob Cousy has more than him. Like when it comes down to assist titles, we look at all the people who won assist titles during Chris Paul's tenure, because I'm pretty sure Nash, Kidd, Rondo got one. I think Russ got one. LeBron got one. Harden got one. Like they have other players that are Hall of Famers that have been in this in legit Hall of Famers, not the the person who averaged 9 and 6 and then a basketball Hall of Fame. So when I'm looking at this, the errors.
Don't forget to talk about the MVP.
The only time, he got the MVP. The only time that
short take.
You say short take?
That was a short take on MVP, and he got first All NBA with Oscar. Since you love Oscar so much.
Yeah, him and Oscar was first team All NBA, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not like he beat Oscar. Both of them was first team All NBA. Who else was in the league at that time?
I mean, as far as guards, it's gonna be names you probably don't know.
Exactly. Jared West was in the league because him and Oscar was drafted the same year, but that was the year.
Bill Sharman, you remember him?
From I don't know who he played for.
Oh, he played for, but that's a name. He top 75 player.
Yeah. I'm saying, like,
you want me to tell you it's the 50s?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm like, we don't give these people that love. Like, no, that's out. Like when we look at the 50s and stuff like that, we look at players' numbers and we like, well, damn, because he did this, he must have been damn good. Like we look at Wilt Chamberlain and be like, he must have been damn good. Now, let me ask you this: you got Bill Russell and Wilt ranked in your top 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one you got higher?
Wilt.
All right. And I'm assuming that's because of numbers, right?
Yeah, from what I know, he was just a better player.
But I'm saying we're looking at the numbers when we look at that. Because we didn't see them play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just looking at the numbers. We see when it comes down to Wilt, if we're looking at just resume. I like this because if we looking at resume, right? If we looking at resume and dominance, that's gonna be Bill.
No, it's not.
11 championships, 5 MVPs.
How many? 7 scoring titles, 2 MVPs. Like you ain't. Wait.
Wait. I'm just making.
Hold up. When it comes to championships, we got to be very careful, because this is the thing. It's a plus, but me and you both know it's not end all be all. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna sit there and say 11 championships and then say, oh, that makes him better than Wilt. That makes no sense. That makes no sense, and then stop at Wilt. We might as well put him in a GOAT conversation, but we don't put him in the GOAT conversation for a reason. So again,
be
careful when you name that.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. Because I agree with you that I would have Wilt over Bill. I would agree with you. But I'm saying when you look in the way that you talking about resume and dominance, and we veering off this and everything. But once we
about to wrap it up anyway.
But look, once we looking at resume and dominance, you're gonna say 7 scoring titles and 3 MVPs is better than 5 MVPs and 11 championships?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a better player, like this, that's that.
All right,
And that,
guys.
wait.
And subscribe.
That brings us all the way back to CP3. You give CP3 more points for team accolades than actual individual accolades. If Magic averaged 9 assists, he wouldn't be considered the best point guard in the game. He wouldn't.
Okay.
So how you gonna sit?
So look, I like that. Let's compare the numbers. What Cousy numbers look like versus Chris Paul's?
No, what Cousy numbers like compared to the point guards in his era?
No, that's not my contention. Was Cousy better than every single point guard who played before Bill Russell was drafted? Absolutely.
Okay.
So
but whose fault is that? That's unknown.
So again, we're saying that Bob Cousy was better than every single point guard before Bill Russell was drafted. Cool. That's not my contention. I'm saying that even though Bob Cousy was better than every single point guard before Bill Russell was drafted, Bob Cousy is not a top 5 point guard after Bill Russell was drafted. That's my contention.
After Bill Russell was drafted?
Yeah, after Bill Russell was drafted.
Name 5 better.
I'm talking about from 1959. So 1959 to 2022. I'm so after Bill Russell was drafted. We saying Bill Russell as.
Are we going by skill or are we going by what they did in the league?
We going by skill. We going by what they. We going by skill. We going by what they did in the league. We going by if you wanted to pick a team, who you picking first? What you got to pick a point guard. The 4 point guards that came off the board already. You got Magic, Steph, Oscar, Zeke. Those are the 4 point guards that came off the board. Which point guard you picking next? Is it gonna be Bob Cousy? No. When you picking him? After Dame? After Chris? After Walt? After GP? After Jason Kidd? After Steve Nash? You feel me? So I'm saying like he's not in this conversation. He's not.
So pretty much when you rank your people by position, you go by when you'll draft them on a team.
Not in general, but I'm just saying like when
we just did that.
I'm saying not in general, but if it had to come down to it, yes, that will be the player. Okay. That's the player who I will pick first. Period.
Okay. So do you keep that same energy when you rank your centers?
For centers?
Yeah.
I try to.
Try. But you know for a fact that you can't go by, because you got to go by, at some point you got to go by accolades, not, if I'm drafting a team, I'll pick him over him.
No.
You know that.
No, because at the, I don't know if I have, and this is why it's been hard for me to try to put together a top 20 list. I don't know if I have Kareem as my number 1 center. Like I know it's a consensus that Kareem is number 1, and I don't fight it. I don't buck against the conventional knowledge of who's the number 1 center in the league, but I don't know if I have Kareem as my number 1 center. Like looking at how good people were over the course of their careers, I don't know if I have him as number 1. So.
All right. Well, look, you need to get that top 20 list together so we can finish this, so we can wrap this up. I need that done by the end of the NBA Finals. But y'all let us know how y'all feel. When y'all rank people, do y'all go by resume and dominance, or you put him in another era and say he wouldn't do as good, or you say he's not as skilled? Gotta do better, man. Shout out to y'all listening. Shout out to everybody who watched. Appreciate everything. BLM, God bless. Be smart. Stay safe. G, Blizzard Blaze out. Championship ringside is already. Be smart, stop hating, stop bitching. G.
Yeah, I'm
Next
sorry,
time.
but I had to do this young man today. Like and subscribe. Yeah, he gave y'all the links.
It's gonna be in the links, man. I'm my goodness. I can't believe this guy. Happy basketball.